Hello! Welcome. If you're watching the replay, you know the drill. You can fast forward a few moments because I'm going to go ahead and share this and have a dance party so I can make sure I get people in here. This is a song by Chances Are Good and I love it, so I hope you do too.
You wanna do first, sip some wine, go and satisfy your deep thirst. Read the sun, wondering what it really work. Can this body mind merge with space and time hurt? Let the mold as a movement, our timelines into something that's a bit more harmonious. Right now is a big metamorphosis. Open pond in the half metamorphosis. Walking on the planet from the stars and the oceans. So keep your eyes peeled, pine needles getting healed. This is time for the secrets to reveal. Woke up this morning with a really good feeling. Something magical.
Just inviting some people. Help me invite some others.
Anything is possible. Get better and better. Feeling good, feeling love, feeling beautiful. Feeling weight on the back of an eagle. Big spirit guiding us to a people. Standing up strong and tall like a ticket pole. Expecting miracles, magical visuals. Passion, a planet, one family, all equals. Healing wonders in the medicine of knowledge. New sunlight with extra wattage. How I love you and know you're pretty perfect.
Grab your journals, get comfy, just sharing it around. Have another dance party. Get some cacao.
All our relatives from minerals to landments. We're the planets who plant some plants, kid. Didn't plan it, but it's still gonna happen. That's the satisfaction of attraction. There's some lost in the cause and affection. Positive reference, powerful reference. And you don't get a break from a second. Magnetic.
Tag a friend. I have my group set so that people should be able to enter without me accepting their invites. So just get people in here, tag them, bring them, help change their lives. We're talking about some good stuff tonight. I'm so glad to see some of you here. I know some of our friends are sick this evening, so send them a little bit of extra love. Visualize our full tribe getting nice and healthy so that they can all tune in, catch up, watch the replay. It's almost time. Invite another friend. Let me know you're here. Who's watching? Who's in there? Yay! Alright. We're doing the thing, guys. You are here for day 2, and I am grateful. So let me just get my notes up here, because you know I'm a human. I like to have notes so that I don't miss anything. I do my best to just channel the intuitive vibes and feel confident, but it's important to make sure that you cover all your bases. So as you get comfortable again, remember, get your journals out. We're going to do a meditation. We're going to give you some journal topics. I'm going to make a post after this video for my winner of the chakra pendant. I did a random name pool of all the people that shared the post before the first challenge video was complete, so I wanted to give that announcement later. You have a chance to win more prizes by commenting, letting me know that you're here, and inviting more people so that we can help change as many lives as possible. Alright, so how's everybody feeling? We're getting in the flow to talk about the sacral chakra. And this chakra is located in your pelvic area. Those lower private regions that, you know, we hold very sacred and near and dear. They're what help create us here in general. So again, today we're going to talk about something a little extra sacred, because we know that those parts that lie there are what create our existence. The sacral chakra is also known as the water chakra. And it deals with our connection to our own confidence, self-image, sexuality, and most importantly, how we react and release and accept shame. So, tonight we're going to be talking about things like, what are we ashamed of? What are you ashamed of? You may also connect this with guilt, things that make you feel guilty. We're going to dive into that tomorrow in the solar plexus. But let's focus on the sacral chakra for right now. This chakra gets its energy from a few different sources. Many of you probably instantly thought of like sexual orientation or connection when I said sexuality and confidence and sensuality. And that's a big part of it, but it's deeper than that. This energy area is fueled by not just sexual connection, but creativity and confidence. Knowing who you are and your sexual identity is so important. And that doesn't just mean by the parts you have and how you show up in the world, but it means that divine energy. I want to talk about that for a moment, that sexual divine energy. This is a topic that is so taboo for so many people. I know for a fact it was really something that was hard to talk about in my family, in my circle, and it's something that people just don't usually go public about, but we're seeing this surge of divine femininity and masculinity, toxic this, whatever, and people just wanting to be themselves. That authenticity is so key in today's day and age. Knowing about chakras and how they work not only within yourself, but others can have a whole new effect on you when it comes to romance and friendship, sexual connections, intimate connections, whatever. Because you begin to understand people differently, especially when you can see what chakras or areas that they're struggling with. It's helped me to know when a friend or a partner or a family member needs me to hold more space for them emotionally or physically in a specific space. It's like you can see it when you know what they're going through, you know what areas of their body are being affected. You can just understand energy and people differently. So having an understanding of those chakras are only natural to have a deeper sensation and energetic connection during sexual or intimate touch or even just physical touch of any kind, as well as help balance any sort of traumatic experiences we've had in life. This is a very, very intimate and special chakra that we are opening up and aligning with more today. For example, I mentioned earlier that this chakra deals with shame. And again, the solar plexus, we'll talk about it tomorrow, it deals with guilt. And you may feel shameful about the way that you show up in the world. But what's really important is to ask yourself when you feel shame, is it something that you truly have control over, or is it something that you were born with? Sometimes we feel ashamed of our actions, and that kind of ties in with that guilt that we'll discuss tomorrow. But sometimes we have shame over something that we have no control over, like our hair color or a birthmark or the family we're born into. And then you hold that shame in and it becomes a really intense physical representation or spiritual traumatic experience for you. It manifests. You can feel it or see it happening even physically. So, for example, let's say maybe you're feeling playful and connected and really just ready to connect with a partner. But all of a sudden your heart starts beating fast and then bam, everything was fine and all of a sudden you're just feeling this weird shame. Maybe shame for being who you are, for enjoying this very natural, instinctual connection with somebody. Or maybe shame starts to creep in and you're wondering, are you good enough? Are you skinny enough? Are you aware enough? Like, all of these what ifs. You start wondering if you're being dirty or doing something wrong, and your lower areas just start to feel weird. You have this block, especially if somebody has went through a traumatic experience where they've dealt with unexpected energies approaching them in different ways, you know? So feeling those vibes are only natural, especially for women or those that have been programmed to think that being your most potent or sensual, confident self makes you unpure in some way, dirty in some way, or that by activating your best self, you're putting yourself out there to receive attention in a way that you don't deserve. I know a lot of women and men who don't show up as their full, confident, sexy, creative selves because of how they've been approached by other people. For a very long time, I wore nothing but jeans and t-shirts because I was terrified that if I was hit on, I wouldn't know how to respond. I felt awkward. I felt uncomfortable in my body. Again, feeling those vibes, they're natural. That's part of living in this uncomfortable, weird physical experience. But part of this journey that we've been set upon is to understand them, to acknowledge them, to find a way to work through them and accept who we are. You're not dirty for wanting to connect with other humans. You shouldn't be ashamed of wanting that connection or feeling powerful in who you are as a person, for feeling proud of something you've created artistically or through some form of expression. That's what the sacral chakra is about, is expressing yourself. Expressing yourself in a way that you can show up and be proud of who you are in such a way that you're confident that you can cheer others on to be proud of who they are and what they do. Part of balancing this sacred chakra is finding the positive things that you love about yourself. What is something you love about yourself? Drop me a comment. Let me know you're here. Who's watching me right now? What is something you love about yourself? Or what's something you love about somebody that is near and dear to you, that inspires you to be the best version of you? Let's talk about the things we love in people. So often, we're willing to point out the things that we don't like in someone. We're willing to see the flaws, but we forget to show the gratitude for those little things that we love about each other and ourselves. I want you to remember to love yourself. What is something you love about yourself? Leave it in my comments. You don't want to fall into this need to expect confirmation from other people too. Finding ways to feel your own confidence without depending on others to boost you constantly, that's key. You don't want to fall into those lower vibrational patterns of playing the victim. Honestly, I've been seeing a lot of victim mentality lately. I'm guilty of it in the past and probably the future as well because it's a process. But there's been these words being thrown around like divine feminine, divine masculine, toxic masculinity, toxic sexuality, all of these crazy terms coming up and making people feel like, am I good enough? Am I good enough? I'm not good enough because blah, blah, blah. Whatever your victim excuse is, we're throwing all of that away and we're taking our power back. One step at a time. One step at a time. All you can do is put one foot in front of the other and find one thing that you love about yourself. And then the next day, find a new thing. I see you guys dropping the things you love about yourself in the comments. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up for yourself. What's important to remember is that as divine beings, we're both connected to the divine feminine and masculine, no matter what form your physical body takes. That is why it's so important for so many of us to be waking up right now. We're accessing both the structural, protective, and intellectual energies typically connected with the masculine, as well as the nurturing, creative, rebirthing, and mystical energies typically connected with the feminine. We activate our truest selves when we find ways to really connect both of those energies. When we realize who we truly are and we express that, we act upon that. That's how you can really touch base with that intuition. So many people are like, how do you connect with your intuition? You have to be able to feel deeply into who you are and what messages you're supposed to be following. So often we receive messages and we don't follow them. One of the biggest messages is to follow who you are. Show up in the world and don't be afraid. Be proud of what makes you you. What experiences have made you you. I used to be scared to share my story, but now here I am with all of you trying to share as many stories as possible because I realize I learned from other people's stories. I love watching videos on YouTube or wherever and just learning about how other people overcome things, other experiences people have had. That is why we're here, showing up, being authentic. When I work on balancing my sacral chakra, I like to visualize myself as my personal superhero. You know, like that person, if no one told me otherwise, what I would do, like the superpowers. What superpowers would I have? I would want to shed light upon darkness because no one really likes dark places. And how confident would I be if no one ever told me I was too fat, too loud, too tall, or too lazy? That is my superhero self. That's how Shantastic Shine became to be, was me activating my superhero self, visualizing who and what that would be, and that's how I get motivated to show up here with you guys every time I do. This chakra wants you to release any shame you have for being the way that you are. There are some things that we just aren't meant to change because they're a part of us. Sexuality, your sense of humor, your sense of creativity, imagination, and ability to manifest things in this reality and to choose your free will, to how you look and how you show up in the world. That is all part of who you are. You've got to accept that. Now, feeling unjudged and finding preferences that you enjoy and finding a partner or friends that you can really connect with on this level are very helpful. In trying to connect this chakra in a bigger way, community is beautiful because you want to feel accepted. That's why I've created this group here. That's why my partner and I have co-created the Bring Me to Life tribe, which is full of uplifting, unlimited awakening content. There's so much beautiful content and so many beautiful people that we've met through the Bring Me to Life tribe and here in the Light Up Your Life group that is just magical to me. I love seeing all of you. I love when you share your stories because it helps me connect with you energetically. Thank you for being here. This chakra can get closed though when we feel very put down, when we feel rejected, when we put ourselves down. We often can lose our creativity or our self-confidence, and then it just gets us all out of whack. Imbalances can cause really intense things physically here. We can have really intense female cycles. We can have an issue with our reproductive systems. We can have some sort of sexual block or trauma happen. Urinary infections, STDs, emotional creativity blocks, outbursts, codependencies. So much can happen if this chakra gets blocked. So in my 8-week chakra course, you can join me in either the public group I do or privately through that course to really dive in deeper to not only this chakra, but all the chakras. And I give you even more tools to break it down. But really importantly, something you can do now is activate your creativity. You can balance this by just giving yourself time to access that creative space, that imagination. When you're not being hard on yourselves, it's easier to create. But when you're being hard on yourself and you break through that barrier and you can create something, it helps you channel energy in a way that you can be proud of who you are. You can see that expression, even if it's just scribbles on a page. Or maybe it's an abstract mess on a paper. Or if you're more of a dancer or a singer, do what feels right for you. Creativity is just energized through that sacral chakra and that solar plexus, as well as like the heart, the third eye. It helps basically align all of it, but it really comes out through this confidence, sensual, intimate area. And I found that when there's a block there and you can find some form of creative expression, that's a surefire way to help you break the barrier of this chakra. Yoga is another way. I talk about yoga a lot in my 8-week course, and it's a way you can stretch your body out and charge it up. So I give you different yoga moves in the course for all of that. You can look up different yoga practices. Just get that body moving. This day is about moving and creating. So that being said, it's time to get your journals out and get comfortable for the meditation. I'm going to get my song here ready. I hope you guys are ready. If you are, while you wait, share something in the comments that has inspired you. Something you've learned so far, something you've learned this week outside of the challenge. Just let me know you're here. Those of you that need to get a journal, get your journal out because you're going to want it in case anything comes up through your meditation that you want to make a memory of. I've been looking back at my notes and journals from last year when I did this challenge, and it's just so inspiring to see how far I've come. I looked back at some of the posts from last year's challenge in the group, and just seeing how far all of you have come has been magical as well. I'm so grateful for you guys being here. All right, so somebody suggested that I share the journal topics before the meditation so that you can reflect on them if your mind tends to wander from my guidance, or if you just can't get into that meditation mindset wherever you're at right now. So that being said, here are your journal topics for tonight. These are going to be how you reflect, and you can share something from them to get a point. So they're going to be 2 parts again. Part 1. Are you ready? I hope you're ready. Drop me a ready in the comments, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. I just want to know who's here. So part 1, write about something that you have shame from. Was this something that you've had control over as an action, or something that you were born with that you must accept, such as a birthmark, a body type, or situation? So something that you felt ashamed of. Again, was it something you had control over? Was it something that you didn't have control over? Once you write about that time, I want you to write something that you've learned or accepted about that shame at this time. So why did it make you feel ashamed? What have you been holding on to it for so long for? And what have you learned about it? Again, this is going to be in the description of the video so that you can reflect on it later. Part 2. Write about a time that you felt most confident, creative, or even sexy. What was it that made you feel that way? Was it how someone treated you? An outfit you wore? Something you made? An action you took? A time that you felt most confident, creative, or even sexy. So I hope you're seeing a theme here. We're going to be doing this throughout the week as we shift through the different emotions and parts of ourself. Again, you can share with us something you feel comfortable sharing in the discussion. And a bonus point, if you also share with us a photo of something you're proud of. Hopefully something you've created, because I want you to create something. That can even be a dance, it can be you singing, it can be a scribble, a doodle, a poem. Share something you've created or something you will create. I really want to see you guys get that extra homework in. So now we're going to meditate, and I'm glad that you guys are here. Again, this is going to be music from the CD that I co-created with my partner Suleiman, who is hosting a Divine Creativity and Expression course in the very near future. You can find out more on his Suleiman page or bringmetolife.com. And now I want you to take some breaths and close your eyes. Just kind of calming down from my voice and all of the excitement. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're showing up for yourself. I'm hoping you can all hear me and can follow the comfort of my voice. Breathing in nice and deep and releasing. Feeling the flow of energy you're creating. Allow your breathing to become calm and slow. And with each exhale, feel all the negativity, tiredness, stress, and toxic energy leave your body and your energy field. We're visualizing our mind as the water. Allowing the water that is our emotions built up in our energetic body. Bringing all of the times that we may have felt shame, felt afraid, or even guilty. We're going to visualize those times being released into a pool of healing energy. Feeling your body channel this energy as you reprogram. You allow yourself to tap into this new opportunity, this permission to activate your most divine self. As we reprogram, we feel the water within our energy seep out into source, allowing the Great Spirit to heal us, to show us that it accepts us for who we are and how it created us here in this moment. Meditating on how each one of your emotions feels in this body. As you accept that you too can show up, you can accept that you are meant to be confident. Hear the water flow as you are recharged with new, fresh energy. Trickling with divine light and the ability to show up and feel sexy, feel creative, feel passionate. Release any judgments you have about showing up for yourself. Visualize your light body activating and glowing in a color of your choice. Really visualize yourself as you wish to show up in the world. What is your superpower? What do you look like as your superhero? How can you activate that in your waking life? Visualize the superhero of you increasing your happiness, activating your joy, fueling your confidence, your sexuality, your creativity. Allowing the water to wash away any insecurities you have about showing up in the world. Your playing small serves no one. Spirit has guided you here and now to accept that you are meant to be the best version of you that you can be. visualize yourself taking act in some sort of creative movement. You can sway in your waking life here with me now, or visualize this energetic you expressing themselves, moving, shaking, dancing, being grateful for their body, feeling that connection to their body. Accept that this is you. You deserve this movement, this expression. Allow your feelings to move through you like a stream. If you feel pent up, focus on where in your body those energy feels stuck. How can you creatively move through it? How can you reactivate that confidence? Now, most importantly, I want you to smile. I want you to smile. I want you to feel that joy, that confidence as you light yourself up. Because when you smile, your world smiles. Are you still smiling? Good. Now I want you to remember that part. I want you to remember that when you're feeling down, when you need a confidence boost, I need you to find a way to smile. I need you to find a way to be proud of who you are. Now go ahead and begin to wiggle those toes and fingers if you're not already moving your body with me. Begin to come more awake and mindful. Begin to join me back here in the interwebs, wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening. Hopefully you're feeling great. I'm feeling great. I hope you are too. Leave me a comment. How did that make you feel? What came up for you? If you were going to recommend a meditation to somebody, why would you recommend it now after meditating with me? I would love to just hear people's vibes after taking a moment, especially some of you that commented before the challenge and said that you were having trouble meditating. I would love to know what you have trouble with meditating so that I can find ways to inspire you to meditate more, because I used to hate meditating. I did not like sitting still. I did not like focusing on my thoughts, but I have found ways to make meditating work for me, and I would love to help find a way for it to work for you. Now, again, you have your journal topics, something you're ashamed of, and why you're no longer ashamed of it because you are your superhero self. And now that you are supercharged for your extra bonus point, again, I want you to go and create something. Even if it's just a little doodle, a poem, a song, a dance. I want you to create something. I want this creative endeavor to be something about you and how awesome you are. It can be detailed or as simple as you want, but I would love for you to share a photo of it with us sometime in the next 24 hours or whenever you're watching this video, because again, you can watch the replay, and if you're watching the replay and you made it this far, please leave me a comment. Let me know you were here, because that helps inspire me to do these in the future and to offer you as much content as I can for free. And again, your video or your photo, it can be something short and sweet and simple, or it can be a video, whatever. You can drop it in the comments. I'm going to make another post to remind you guys tomorrow. And I just want you to release that fun, sexy, creative, confident energy. I want you feeling yourself. I want you smiling bright by the end of today, by the end of tomorrow, by the end of this week. I know we talk about some dark things. Sometimes we start out, the guilt, the shame, the fear, but it's all about finding ways to balance it and to activate that deeper self. If you're having a bad day and you can't seem to shake it, that's okay too. Still share a post with why and let us know how we can support you as your tribe here in this group. Again, I know some of us were not feeling well, so I'm sending love and healing out to all of those that hopefully are watching the replay. Thank you for showing up. I hope you're feeling better. Remember that you can tag friends. They can still catch up, and you can still watch yesterday's video if you have not yet. And if you need more high vibe content, you can check out my personal website, shantasticshine.com, or you can tune in to the new bringmetolife.com with the number 2. Again, check out bringmetolife.com. I have podcasts on there. I have articles on there. Silamon has so much awesome content on there. People ask me questions all the time, and I wish I could go into detail about everything and every personal question I get. However, what I do is I create podcasts that are free for all of you. I do have a Patreon that I co-create with CeeLo, which includes content that I don't necessarily want out super publicly, but I'm willing to share. So the Patreon has like $1 to $5 donation fee, and you get access to exclusive content. But trust me, there's plenty out there for free. Go check it out. bringmetolife.com. All right, so if you're feeling extra connected to me as I do you, I would be honored if you signed up for private readings as well. I do exclusive private readings through video. I do them in person. I just love connecting with people. So I have that subscription where I do it every month, and just feel free to reach out to me. I'm excited to see your creative expressions. Wow, I'm just really fired up. I love you guys. I just keep seeing comments appear. You're awesome. If you made it this far, drop a comment that says, I am awesome. As in, you are awesome, not me. I am awesome, because that is your affirmation for today. Yesterday was get grounded. Today, you are awesome. Remember it. Drop it in the comments. Let me know you made it to the end of this video, and you have some homework to do. Get creative. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and until then, stay awake and shine on always.